Good afternoon, Sean Hewitt here from the Trusted Business Community Association. And today for the big interview, I'm joined by Sarah Hannaford from Sarah's PA Solutions. Now, Sarah's been in an environment where she's been supporting business in many different levels and many sectors for the best part of 20 years plus. And in the last 2.5 years, Sarah's PA Solutions became a business in its own right. Welcome, Sarah. Lovely to have you with us.
Good afternoon, Sean. Lovely to be here.
Excellent. Sarah, obviously the people listening in would love to obviously know a bit more about, obviously, Sarah's PA Solutions, but let's find out a little bit more about Sarah, shall we, first? Who's the lady behind the brand, or in front of the brand, as you are today? Tell us a little bit about the journey. What inspired you to get into the work that you do? Talk about, if you feel free to tell us about where you've been in the past, and bring us up to date to the point where obviously your business was born. If then we can find out a little bit more about business and how it helps others. But for the time being, let's talk about you. Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Admin's always what I've loved to do just generally. So it's when I was at college, I did horses and business studies as a course because I've ridden horses since I was 3. Loved horse riding. Had my own at times over the years, and I thought I'd take it to college and sort of progress that as well. But I focused on the business studies side of it more so because that was what I felt would benefit me long term. So, and while I was doing the course, I really enjoyed the whole admin side of it and the way the modules were set out and all that kind of thing. So it was from quite a young age that I really enjoyed paperwork.
Someone has to.
Oh yeah. Not many people do like paperwork, I have to say, but I'm one of those crazy people that do. So then when I had my children small, it was admin roles were quite an easy sort of route to go down because they were obviously around office hours, and I could do them with the kids small. So I did a lot of temp work to begin with, because that was, again, quite good with the kids. And that gave me an opportunity to visit different sectors and see how different places worked, which was a great learning curve for me, and provided a good deal of experience. So which has in turn helped me over the years and with my current situation. So, but I worked predominantly in either the car industry. So I did a lot of time in service departments, doing booking cars into the workshop, so keeping the technicians busy, doing a lot of warranty prep work. So that was a lot of checking and rechecking because the main dealers, if they get a warranty claim, if you don't have all the right bits of paper, so all the right printouts, all the right test plans, all that kind of thing, then they won't process the claim. So everything had to be spot on, basically. So quite a little bit of investigatory work in that. Used car warranty as well. Again, you have to directly link the faulty part to, or the fault of the car to the faulty part. So that was quite a big part of my working life was in that industry. But I have also worked within the holiday let sort of industry. I was an office manager there, dealing with like holiday apartments. So a lot of varied role sort of job roles to do there, and it just kind of developed over time. So the more sort of different things I did, the more experience I got, the more skills I learnt, and yeah, it's been quite an interesting journey, I'd say, just picking up different sort of skills and tips as to how to make admin easier, because it's a massive part of most, if not all, businesses, that there is a certain amount to do, and it takes time to do it, and it's also time that is non-billable. So to a business, it's not going to make them any money. So, but it needs to be done.
Yeah, listen. I mean, we all understand as business owners that there is an element of administration in all parts of business. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously, there's some that are maybe completely autonomous and online, and but there's still admin to do behind
yeah.
the scenes. It's an interesting variation, isn't it, from car dealership to holiday lets, and that's a
Yeah,
massive difference. But I've always been one to feel that as long as you can get to understand the industry, your skill set can still fit into to any industry that's out there. And from one extreme being your journey, and obviously on cars and vehicles, all the way up to holiday lets and everything in between.
yeah,
So that's a skill in itself to get underneath the skin of the industry that you're in and understand it, so that you can then obviously make sure that you're delivering the very best level of service yourself when it comes to
yeah.
administrative support. Yeah, great. Thank you for that. Thanks for giving us a little bit of a background on you. So, Sarah's PA Solutions was born 2 years and 5 months ago, November 22. There you
Yeah.
go. I've done my homework. And that must have been a big jump at the beginning of faith as well. Because as we all, anyone who suddenly goes, right, I'm going out on my own, it's a big leap of faith. It's like jumping off a cliff and flapping your wings and hoping that you can fly. So let's talk about the part where that became evident to you that that's where you wanted to be and that's what you wanted to bring. And let's maybe talk about some of the, if you can, share some of the experiences you've had in the last 2.5 odd years, and how you've helped others in the industries that you've been supporting.
Yeah. So, as I said before, when I had this children small, part-time work was the most viable option, really, with childcare costs and etc. But that all sort of changed when my youngest started secondary school, which was September 22. So at that point, I was looking at going back to work full time because the children were catching a school bus in and out every day. And my dad actually said to me, you've got all this experience, all this knowledge, why don't you look into perhaps doing something for yourself? So I did a bit of research and I looked into what it would take to set something up. And yeah, Sarah's PA Solutions was born. The name actually came from my dad. He helped me decide what the name was going to be. So yeah, and it came about, and it was tough in the beginning. It was a lot of networking. I think I spent the majority of the first year just networking and picking up clients, doing project work a lot of the time for people, just sort of get my name out there. And it was a little bit scary, a little bit nerve-wracking to sort of get out of the security of being in a paid job and having to do everything myself, and obviously bringing enough money to pay the bills and everything else. But on the flip side, it was the best thing I ever did. It's made me so much more relaxed in myself. I can work around things that I need to. So if the kids have got a presentation at school one morning or afternoon, I can sort of say, right, I'm going to go to that, but then I'm going to work longer hours to cover, and just work it around family life, because work-life balance is the ultimate goal for most people. You work because you need to, but you also don't want to sacrifice your home life in the process. So finding that work-life balance, I think, is a real important part of being in business. And this is also where I can help others to get that work-life balance, because so many small businesses take time out of either their weekends or their evenings to do their admin, because it needs to be done. Because if they take time out of their work week, that's costing themselves money. So this is where someone like me can come in and go, I can do your admin while you're at work. So you can still be out earning money, your admin's being done, and you haven't got to worry.
And the cost element, obviously, is when you consider what I look at different. There's so many different industry sectors out there. But if we look at just pick up the trades industry, for instance,
Yeah.
You've got builders and experts, carpenters, plumbers, electricians out there earning the money at the front end, using what their tools are, which is their hands and their knowledge about, obviously, the building industry. The last thing they want to be doing when they get back from a long day is actually sitting down in front of a computer for a few hours, and maybe doing quotes or maybe tying up the loose ends of the administrative week. And this is where you can come in, because though you can keep them on the tools whilst you as a business have the tools in your disposal, which takes away all the issues of administrative work, which is not going to pay them. It's just going to keep their business, obviously, in online effectively. But they're not working. And the last thing they would probably want to be doing is coming back and going, oh, I've got to jump on the computer and put all this in and get all that out. And it just elongates their day.
Yeah.
And this is where you can come in, because if they ask themselves how much per hour are they worth as a trades in the trades industry, a few hours from you supporting them on either a daily or a regular basis throughout the week or the month can make a massive difference to the profit and loss margins, because they're not having to do it, you're doing it, and paying you is cheaper than them doing it themselves, because time is money at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's their time that they're spending on something that's not bringing in any revenue, just keeping the business open. And that's the last thing that they probably would be enjoying to be doing. There's something that I know, as I mentioned and joked when I interacted earlier on, who does love paperwork? Yeah, you do. But most business owners want to do the things that they want to do. And you're right, the work-life balance is really important. And I see so many businesses who, over the years, especially around the more recent years of 2020, people were sort of coming into the business world having been either furloughed or made redundant through COVID. And their idea was brilliant. They were like, yeah, this is where I want to be, the sharp end of my business. But to stay there was really difficult, because, and that's, the sharp end of the business is great. Staying there means that you've got all of this behind you in the office to get on with as well.
Yeah.
But the problem there is it's eating into that work-life balance all the time. And I ended up seeing people, I'm sure we've all done it. You end up working longer hours for yourself than you end up working when you were PAYE. But the inspiration was, I want to get a better work-life balance. Whereas in reality, it was longer, harder working hours. And this is where outsourcing really does bring it to its, into its own, because outsourcing is a perfect answer and a perfect cost-saving solution for you doing it. And it's also a mental positive as well, because you're not dragging yourself into overwhelm or burnout because you're doing too many hours. Let somebody else do it who really knows what they're doing, and that's what, so what you're bringing to the business world is the opportunity to be more time efficient, more family efficient, more business efficient, and keeping those business owners doing the things they really love to do, whilst you take things on board that they may not really be favourable to.
Exactly.
So, brilliant. Now, obviously, you've recently joined us as a Premier Partner. There's your badge of trust behind me. We're bringing, and you're part of this panel that we're bringing to business startups, which I think is a really important thing to obviously to reach out to. There's a lot of new businesses out there, startups who are just in the big, the thought processes of it. Some of those businesses that have launched and they're maybe up to about 2 years old. And you're on our panel of experts who are willing to give advice and guidance to anybody who wants to come along. So, people are going to get to see a lot more of you through being one of the panel members on the Startup Hub that we're launching this month. Thank you very much for being willing to, and able to come on there and help and support others who are in their early stages of business development. And that's going to be, I think it's going to be absolutely inspirational for a lot of businesses, because we've got such a great panel, including yourself, of experts in there that can really help to find out what they need. A business needs, not what they necessarily want, because what they want and what they need are two different things. But how to get what they need in place, and then they can work on what they want after that. And I'm really looking forward to that. On the 25th at 1 o'clock, we're launching the first one. And I'm really looking forward to having you as part of that panel to give out the advice and guidance that small business owners in their early stages of development really do need, with people like yourself, experts behind the scene, who they can turn to and rely on with the advice that they're being given. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, most people are going to say, well, okay, so this is Sarah from Sarah's PA Solutions. But how do they find you, Sarah? Where do you hang out? What socials are you on?
So I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm obviously listed in the directory in the Trusted Community business, on their directory. And also I am thinking about starting up a YouTube channel and doing some video sort of tips and things. So that's something that's in the pipeline. So that's very exciting and quite new. So it could be a YouTube channel coming soon as well.
Well, listen, this is about to go up on YouTube, because this is where it starts its journey. So this is a good trial for you to get used to what YouTube looks like. So for those listening in, don't forget to like and subscribe to obviously hear not just Sarah's journey, but also all the others that we've interviewed before Sarah, and those yet to come. Don't forget where you can find Sarah. She can be found on LinkedIn. She can be found on Facebook, and obviously the directory of the Trusted Business Community Association, and soon to be a YouTube channel coming your way. So when that comes along, please let me know, and I can then share that so other people can then follow your channel as well, Sarah. Sarah, it's been an absolute pleasure having this big interview with you today. Thank you so much for being with us, and I really look forward to the success that not just for your business, but that you can bring for others by being part of our association. Thanks for joining me, Sarah.
Thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you.